The only trust being damaged is the trust of the ordinary people that they once had in Democrat leaders who refuse to keep them safe. I don't know why, but they refuse to keep them safe. Here are the facts. Chicago saw over 580 homicides last year. Trump was right when he called it a mess. In New York, families are still afraid of the subway. In Los Angeles, neighborhoods are overrun with gang violence and property crime. And unbelievably, in New York, a leading mayoral candidate, Zoran Mandami, the socialist, is openly running on a defund the police platform, despite all the crime. Think about that. While the country sees the results of Trump's enforcement strategy in Washington, Democrats double down on policies that coddle criminals and handcuff police. And it's not just shootings and homicides. Crime is crushing businesses in blue cities. In Washington state, Kroger is closing Fred Meyer locations after doubling their security budgets and still losing the fight against theft. Walgreens and CVS are now locking up everyday items like toothpaste and deodorant behind glass. Deodorant behind glass because organized thieves make the stores unmanageable. How annoying is it? You can't get a razor without getting an employee that you can't find to unlock the damn thing without an alarm going off. In New York City, 40% of all drugstores have closed in the last decades, including 10% just last year, directly tied to shoplifting and violent crime. And in Chicago, smash and grab crews are ramming vehicles into stores like Foot Locker, sometimes hitting the same location multiple times in a single week. This isn't policing at work. This is lawlessness, and it's taking over daily life. This is the choice America faces. On one side, real results, safer streets, criminals taken off the street, and leadership that says enough is enough. On the other, Democrat mayors and governors who call enforcement overreach, who protest the guard, and who would rather fight the president than fight the criminals terrorizing their citizens. Washington, D.C. has proven what happens when you back law enforcement and take a stand. The question is now whether cities like Chicago and New York will see the same. President Trump says he's ready, and if local leaders won't act, the federal government is prepared to step in and do the job for him. Joining me now to discuss this and what comes next in the national crime crackdown is senior counsel at the Article 3 Project, Will Chamberlain. Welcome to the show.
Good to be with you.
So, I mean, we're watching all of this unfold. It's been a very big day, a lot of news. I was sitting around this morning preparing for the show. I had something else planned. I'm like, no, wait, stop the presses. Trump's making news again. He does more before 1 p.m. than I think Biden did in an entire month of his presidency. So what's your take on these executive orders? Look, Trump is showing the nation how you could be tough on crime and crime can actually improve. Your citizens don't have to be subject to mob violence and gang violence and murders and all the other terrible things that goes along with the Democrats' soft on crime policies. So what's your take on these executive orders? Are you encouraged that maybe we'll start to see the pendulum swing in the other direction to a safer America?
Yeah, I think so. I think one of the things President Trump is really showing with D.C. is he's using the opportunity to make it a model for the rest of the nation. And it sort of gives the lie to the excuses made by Democrats in running blue cities elsewhere. It's like, oh, well, you can't arrest your way out of crime, as the D.C. Attorney General said. And, oh, these are all complicated economic problems that need to be dealt with social programs. Nonsense. Arrest the criminals. That solves the problem of crime. If you arrest the people committing crime, soon enough, there aren't people committing crime anymore.
Yeah, well, I did love that, right? It was the Chicago mayor. He said that you can't arrest your way out of crime. And the fact that they've arrested people didn't lead to any changes. There's jails that were full, and essentially arresting people was racist. I saw that comment earlier. I mean, look, D.C. was one of the most dangerous places in the country. You look at all the murders that happened just in this year alone. And now it's been 2 weeks without a single murder. So, I mean, when you look at all of this, I don't understand how people can look at what Trump did in D.C. in just 14 days and not say, yeah, this is clearly the roadmap for what we need to do the rest of these cities, right? I mean, look at all the success there. Are you shocked by how quickly D.C. was able to be cleaned up with just simple law enforcement?
No, actually. I mean, I would have told you the same thing. If you have a massive escalation of federal resources and everybody understands the police are out in force, then there's going to be a lot less crime. And we've seen it in a million other places. New York City, most notably when Giuliani and Bloomberg were running the place, became one of the safest big cities in the country. And it is the biggest city, which is a really impressive feat. I mean, D.C. in comparison is, I think, less than 1/10 the size of New York City. New York City, 8 million people, and D.C. has about 600,000. So the fact that Giuliani and Bloomberg were able to do it in New York in a much bigger and more challenging environment suggested that it's actually not that hard a problem to solve if you just have the will to do so and are willing to provide the resources necessary.